The isolation chamber was designed to break species of inferior mental fortitude. It was a cube of pure white, sensory deprivation enforced by every technological means the Galactic Fleet Academy possessed. No sound. No light variation. No sensation except the recycled air and the cold floor beneath. Commander Thexnor had placed Cadet Sarah Chen in that chamber 3 months ago. She will either emerge psychologically shattered or dead, Thexnor had announced to the assembled commanders. Humans are fragile creatures. This test will prove they have no place in the elite ranks of our fleet. The other commanders had agreed. Humans were new to the galactic community, barely 30 years out of their home system. They had no biosynthetic enhancements, no natural telepathic abilities, no superior intellect by any measurable standard. That Sarah had scored highest in the Academy entrance exams was considered an anomaly, a computational error that should have been corrected. Now, 3 months later, the Academy would finally know the truth. The chamber door hissed open, and the gathered commanders prepared themselves to collect a broken husk of a human. Instead, Sarah walked out. She was changed, yes, her frame was leaner, her eyes carried a depth that hadn't existed before, but she was intact. Functional. Impossibly, she was smiling. Cadet Chen, Thexnor's voice was sharp with confusion and something else, concern. You should be incapacitated. The isolation protocol is designed to induce psychological collapse within 60 days. Sarah looked at the commander with an expression of pity. I spent 60 days learning who I am, she said simply. The first month was hard. But by week 5, I stopped fighting the silence. I started using it. Using it? Another commander asked. The chamber is designed to prevent any meaningful stimulus. You locked me in a box with my own mind, Sarah replied. Do you understand what a human mind can do when it has nothing but itself to work with? We explore. We imagine. We build entire worlds in the silence. She walked toward the training simulator, and the commanders instinctively moved aside. There was something about her now, not physical dominance, but absolute certainty. She moved like she had already walked this path 1,000 times. Run the advanced tactical scenario, she commanded. Thexnor hesitated, then gestured to the technician. The simulation began, a 3-front invasion scenario designed to test decision-making under extreme pressure. The fleet's brightest minds had barely managed a 40% success rate. Sarah's hands moved across the controls with mechanical precision. She didn't hesitate. Didn't second-guess. She saw the problem with a clarity that made even the experienced commanders gasp. Within 16 minutes, she had achieved a 94% success rate on the first attempt. How? Thexnor whispered. I had 3 months to think about warfare, Sarah said, finally turning to face them. 3 months with nothing but strategic problems running through my mind. I didn't solve one scenario. I solved 1,000. I've already seen every trap, every variation, every possibility. She stepped closer to the commanders. You thought isolation would break me. You thought a human mind would collapse without external stimulus. But humans evolved on a harsh world with long nights and uncertain survival. We're built to explore our own minds. We're built to endure alone. 3 months? She laughed, and it was a sound of genuine joy. I've barely scratched the surface of what I can imagine. Over the next weeks, something unexpected happened. The elite pilots of the fleet began requesting Sarah as their commanding officer. Then the tactical crews. Then entire squadrons. The commanders watched in bewilderment as the human cadet, someone they had tried to destroy through isolation, became the only commander that the fleet would follow without question. It wasn't because she was brilliant at strategy. It was because she had proven something that no alien commander had ever demonstrated, the capacity to be stronger alone than most were together. In a universe of beings who valued external enhancements and technological superiority, Sarah had shown that sometimes the most dangerous weapon was the mind that refused to break. When Thexnor finally asked her why the fleet had gravitated toward her, Sarah smiled. Because I walked through the one test everyone feared, and I came out the other side unchanged. Not just surviving, thriving. You locked me away to prove humans were weak. Instead, you proved that the human spirit is the most resilient thing in this galaxy. Thexnor had no response. She was the only one the fleet would follow.